Well, let's turn to the new opposition ADC coalition that's trying to replicate, in a sense, what the APC did in 2015. Why do you think this political shake-up is happening now, with 2 years still to go before the next presidential election?
Well, let me say, in my view, they are jumping the gun. It's not yet time for politicking, as they are doing.
Well, they would say that your party is doing the same thing. You're co-opting people from the opposition to beef up your strength in the APC.
Well, we didn't go the way they are going about it. The alliance or the merger that we had in 2013 was not as noisy as these people are making it. They are not as you didn't give much distraction to the government in power. But the way they are doing is as if INEC has blown the whistle for party politics to start, but that is not so. But you see, they are free. This is a free country. People can come together to form all kinds of alliances. But as far as APC is concerned, we are not seeing them as any threat. If you merge Peter Obi and Atiku together, there's no way the two of them can beat a Bola Tinubu Shetima ticket. It's not going to be possible. Yeah,
but they did in 2023. I mean, they went together, but separately.
They went to election alone. Atiku went to it alone. Peter went to alone. But let me tell you something. If Peter allies with Atiku in 2027, he will not get the blind followership we got in 2023. It will not happen. Because those ones who say no, they want you to be president. They don't want you to be vice president. So that will never happen.
But there
so
are
that's
some...
why I look at it, they're just trying their luck, they're trying to do all kinds of permutations, but I can tell you, the APC will still be in power in 2027.
Right. But
President Tinubu's achievements in office will speak for him.
There are some who used to be in your party and the president's party, the APC, but who feel aggrieved and pushed aside by Mr. Tinubu. Some of them believe they worked very hard in the 2023 presidential election, but the president failed to recognize and to reward their effort. So can it be said that the president has pushed them into the coalition against him?
You need to be specific. Who are those people?
Well, I mean, there's quite a number of them. One of them that comes to mind is obviously El Rufai. I mean, there's a couple of others there as well.
Well, I would say not Cyril Rufai. Yeah, I agree. He did a lot of work for the president. In fact, at a public function, the president acknowledged his role, and in fact, he told him, because Rufai was saying he was going to go abroad for studies, and so said, no, wait and stay. He nominated him for ministerial job, but unfortunately, the National Assembly, the Senate, turned down his nomination. So you cannot put that on the president. That's what happened to him.
But he seems to believe that the president kind of lost faith and either from pressure or something, and went and engineered.
That blame should go to the Senate that rejected his nomination. The president fulfilled his own part of the bargain. He wanted him to be, in fact, he was casting him to be minister of power. But as I said, the Senate, for what is best known to them, said no, they are not going to approve this nomination. So that you cannot blame the president for that. I think you should blame it on the Senate.
Right. But I mean, can President Tinubu count on the support of the North the way he did in 2023?
This president is doing a lot of good for the North, doing a lot of goods. In terms of appointments, he has appointed people from the Northwest, Northeast into positions. And I think in politics, a good turn will deserve a response from people who are beneficiaries of that.
But that's not what the people in the North are saying.
There's a lot of noise all over the place, and it does not really tally with the reality on the ground. People are benefiting from this government, and at the right time, President Tinubu will tap on the goodwill that people under him have enjoyed.
Did you hear what Bayo Onanuga said when he was trying to describe the followership of Peter Obi? It keeps using the word blind followership. And if you've noticed, all of the Bola Tinubu spokesperson, when they come on TV, They always use the word blind followership or the phrase blind followership. You know why? Because they're telling the Peter Obi supporters, the obedient, you guys are not critical thinkers. You have a cult-like behavior. Whatever Peter Obi tells you, you do. So it keeps making, and it kept making that same assertion, saying that if Peter Obi allies with um, Atiku, he won't get that same blind followership. That's more of an insult, saying you guys don't think. And obviously, he's right in certain area when he says that, for example, that Nigerians want Peter Obi to be president. Exactly that. People are galvanizing for him to be president, not be a second fiddle, but a president. So I think the onus now is on the ADC to realize that if they try to be corrupt by co-opting the process and making Atiku the flag bearer, ADC should forget about 2027. If ADC tries to do what they did in PDP by bribery and trying to, pick Atiku, that's all done. Nigerians will move away from the ADC. It doesn't matter what the coalition looks like. Nigerians will move away from the ADC as quickly as possible. So the attention that the ADC has at the moment is because Peter Obi is there and Nigerians actually want him to be president. So I agree with Bayo Onanuga for that. But you also remember when Bayo Onanuga says that the ADC is jumping the gun, that INEC has not called the whistle or blown the whistle for politicking process to start. But he forgets the fact that the APC has been doing that already. Every state you go to that Bola Tinubu is going, the campaign is shown there, banner is put on the street. They've been co-opting people from the other political parties to join them, whilst they're also causing distraction and chaos in the other political party. But you can see they've been served the dose of their own medicine, and they're saying that, oh, the ADC did not go about it the same way we did in 2013. No, they're jumping the gun. INEC has not called for politicking period to start, but they've already started the process. So you can see the fear, because their plan was that they were going to make these inroads early enough so that they can solidify the ground. By the time it gets to 2026 or by 2027, it will be a walk in the park. But now they've not realized that's not going to be that easy. Now, but when he was asked about votes from the north, he says Bola Tinubu's working has been helping a lot of people in the north, a lot of politicians, giving them appointment. When the time is right, it will call for those um, goodwill back, because one good turn deserves another. But you know what he didn't say? He didn't say about what he has done for the people. So you can see it's never been about governance, about being in policy in office. That's what it has always been with the APC or Bola Tinubu administration. So when you listen to these guys speak intently as a Nigerian, you should start to understand that you have to demand the kind of government that you want. You have to demand the kind of leadership that you want. Listen to their spokespeople, because they echo the mindset of their principles. And this is exactly the same assertions that you hear from the mouth of Daniel Boala. Especially when Daniel Boala is called obedient people who don't think, who don't use their brain. So don't forget that. I'm only trying to let you know. Now, for Peter Obi, you cannot afford to be a second fiddle to Atiku. And for those of you big wigs within the Atiku, the ADC camp, David Mark, Rauf Ashegbeshola, Uche Secundus, or whatever his name is, and the likes, all those big wigs. You have to all have a conversation with Atiku. Tell him this baton has passed him. He has to move aside, because when we get to 2027, Atiku will be 80 years old. As a person, I think we've moved past an 80-year-old to become our president. We're trying to run away from one 80-year-old now, want to go back to another 80-year-old. Are we saying that all the other people that are younger don't have they can't think, people that are up to date with what new policies look like, what development looks like, technology looks like? Are we going to go back to the same old people who help in the destruction of our country for salvation, which cannot happen? That's the kind of thing I'm thinking. That's what I'm actually trying to postulate here as well. So we all have to remember that thought. So all those people from ADC, those big wigs, the leadership position, you have to let them know, wow, Atiku have a right to contest. But he has to understand that Nigeria comes first. It's personal ambition. Nigeria has gone past the level of personal ambition. If you look at it, it was personal ambition for Buhari, not because of love for Nigeria. It was his ambition. The same thing for Bola Tinubu, his ambition. What has the ambition done? When we keep going for the ambition of individuals, then the ambition of the country will never be realized. So we have to bear that at the back of our mind. Stop pushing for the ambition of Atiku. Atiku have ambition to be president. The same ambition Bola Tinubu had. If every time we look at there, the ambition always superimpose our ambition of Nigeria to be a great country. And we don't want that anymore. So Nigerians have to think. And the ATC camp has to obviously let them know if he's not Peter Obi, then it's nothing. I think Tunde Ednut said it correctly. If he's not Peter Obi, then it is not nothing. So then you guys need to get your acts right together, because Bayo Onanuga has claimed that clearly on national TV, APC will still be in power in 2027. It's as simple as that. And we don't want that as Nigerians. We want a good Nigeria where the rule of law applies, judiciary is free, not co-opted to rule in favor of the ruling party and be an arm of the ruling party. Also, INEC is now independent, not what we currently have right now. So put your thoughts, your ideas, your comments in the comment section. Let's have a chat. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I will catch you up in the next video. Bye-bye for now.